Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be bringing you this video because it's sort of been a little project that I've been doing over the past week or so. As you know, I have been looking out for a little golden book for Mulan because I've been wanting to make myself a little Mulan journal, and I finally found one. So excited. And the next question was, how was I going to make this? Was I going to make it two signatures, three signatures? Was I going to keep the golden spine? Was I not? Was I going to cover it in fabric? Was I not? I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to just go with it and then decide that I didn't like it at the end, so I thought that I needed to practice. So I started off I did a little search on YouTube to see what people were doing, and a lot of people were doing fabric spines, and so this was my first one that I did. I really enjoyed this. So I followed Gail Agostinelli's tutorial. Thank you so much, Gail. Really nice of people to just spend the time to show us how they do the things they do. She also did the buttons on the spine, which I tried and I absolutely loved. And I made mine so that they weren't fixed, so that I could just play with them. And gosh, I really love that because every day I kind of play with it a little bit differently. And so I really love how interactive, I suppose, it is. I also played with how many signatures to make. So like this one was 3. So with that, you can, make your spine narrow or make it wide. Like for example, here's my next one. Look how wide that is compared. So that will take maybe 4 or maybe 5 signatures. So that one, spine's ready and just waiting for signatures. So yeah, did I want Mulan to be this big? I'm not sure. It seems so big, but if I'm going to work in Mulan for a long time, then yes, I do want it to be this big. The next one that I did was this one, which is just 2 signatures, which the little golden books are 2 signatures. So did I want just 2 signatures? Did I not want buttons? So I made this one, which is the Grumpy Cat. I absolutely, you guys, if you know me, you know I love Grumpy Cat. Like, Grumpy Cat is one of my stuff. And, I didn't know that Grumpy Cat was a she. According to the story, Grumpy Cat is a she. But my Grumpy Cat is a boy because I have boy cats. Well, I have one boy cat and one girl cat, but yeah, my Grumpy Cat is a boy. So, loved that, but this was the last one that I did because I have been experimenting with all these different spines. So for example, this was one and this was one. So yeah, so this was my first one. So what I did here was I did the fabric spine, the fabric back, totally covered that golden book back, kept this one, and did the button. The next one was I followed someone wonderful, and I don't remember her name. I'm gonna put it up on the screen now because she's wonderful, and she was saying she didn't like people covering this. Why cover this? She said you got to keep the existing spine, the original spine, intact, and her video called it Intact Golden Book Spine. So I did her technique, and that's this one, keeping the original golden spine of the little golden books, and you can see it there. I did cover it with fabric because I think I do love a fabric, and I put lace on top as well, which I really love, and I did the buttons as well. And so this spine I made 2.5 inches. Quite like 2.5. 2.5 is quite a nice size, and it takes 3 signatures. 1, 2, 3. And gosh, I really loved, this is not one of my stories. I didn't read this story growing up, but Mr. Noah and his family is a lovely little story. Like, as I was making these journals, I felt just really in touch with my inner child, and I felt this feeling of goodness and sweetness, and it was very therapeutic making these, to tell you the truth. I quite enjoyed it because, number one, I helped sort out all my papers, which I've been meaning to do for a long time. And so I sorted them in terms of theme, in terms of color scheme. I also sorted out my washies so that I kind of did my own thing with the papers. It's not something that I learned from someone. So I went through a lot of washi, which again is good because I'm using my supplies, and that's one thing I really, really want to do. I want to use my papers. I want to use my washi. I want to buy the new stuff. The new stuff is pretty, but I just cannot keep adding to a collection, especially when the old collection just gets, you know, put underneath and I'm using the new stuff. So I've been really vigilant, and I've been sorting out papers. I also used a lot of ribbon on the side here. And so once again, I've got quite a bit of ribbon, and so I used ribbon. So really happy with this project of making little golden books because I'm using up my supplies and it's bringing me quite a lot of joy. So this one was my latest one. Same with the Princess and the Pea, and the Princess and the Pea is my story. Totally grew up with this one. So I adore this one. This one is a little bit, so with the first one that I did, I added the fabric all the way around the spine. With this one, I hardly added it because what I did was I just wanted the lace to just kind of touch the edge here. So with this one, there is a little bit of fabric and lace on the spine, but hardly anything that's intruding upon the illustration on the cover. And this one, yeah, see this one, the fabric went all the way to the edge here. So if I were to make another one, I would take out that strip of fabric. But see, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn. I wanted to make quite a few books so that I knew what my style was, knew how to do it, knew what I liked and what I didn't like, so that I didn't make these mistakes with Mulan. So totally love the Princess and the Pea, and once again, I added some illustration storybooks and used up some of my paper that I have been putting away because I thought that the colors were not right for me anymore, or the patterns were too strong. But they totally go really well in these books. Like for example, this starry one, I didn't know whatever to do with it, but it went well with a stormy night. So, you know, like really, really good. So here I missed a bit of washi, so I need a washi here to cover that join. Anyway, so that one. So then the last thing, and I kind of came across this myself. I was looking at for videos that showed you how to just make the spine of the, like, that video. I was looking for videos to show how to just make the book with the existing spine and not add any, so not extend them. And there were no videos to show you how to do that, so I kind of taught myself how to do it myself. And I thought that today's tutorial or today's video can show you how I made the book. So there's no fabric on the spine, but there is a button spine on this one. See how this one also has no sewing that is visible. It is sewn in. It is sewn in, but the sewn in is not visible. So for example, I'll show you what I did here. So in this little puppy book, this is what the inside looks like. So what you do is you put an existing bit of spine, and then you add a second, just for example, a second one, and you sew your signatures into this, and then you glue that, and that's bound that way. So I thought I would do a tutorial to show you how I did that. So of course these are two different videos. To sew it in is different method than to glue your signatures in. So if there is interest, I can do this one as well to show you how I did this one. And actually on my Instagram, I did put up a video, I did put up a picture and asked if anyone wanted to see how I bound this, and some people said yes. So for the lovely people who actually read my questions, because a lot of people just see the picture and they say, that's so cute, Amira, that's so wonderful. And God bless all my friends and followers who, you know, like and comment. But I actually asked a question, and I said, gee, does anyone want to see how I bound it? And a few people did say yes. So I might just do that video for the few people who are interested. So after all that talking, that's 10 minutes of talking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Now, this is an experiment. This is what I found. So we'll move all this aside. So in order to have an intact spine, you need to be able to take your covers off gently and remove the staple without ripping. Now, depending on the age of your book, like for example, this is Biscuit. Biscuit is 1984, not too old, but he was shabby. So when I tried my method of removing the cover or removing the staples, he just fell apart. It just ripped apart. So that didn't work in terms of making this kind of book. But it will work if you wanted to make this kind of book. So basically what you need to do is rip the covers, as everybody has been teaching you on YouTube. I'll put Gail's video link down below so you can see how she did it. Basically, she took them apart and then cut off each of the cardboard spines, and then she just added her own spine and then did a fabric. So this one, it's not that you can't use it, it's just you can't do my method, which is this method, keeping the intact golden spine. So similarly with this one, the saggy baggy elephant, I tried, but the spine didn't hold. So you're gonna, and then this one, the cow and the elephant, as you can see, whoopsies, we're missing a spine. As you can see, really old, depending on the condition of your book, whether it will work or not. All right. See the tawny, scrawny lion? That work came apart well. This one, even though this is an old book, this is vintage. Like, you can tell this is vintage. I just can't tell where. I was so careful with this one, and it sort of worked. But I'm going to have to do some preservation here, put something on the corners, I suppose, to preserve that. So I'm thinking, if there is interest, I'm thinking of putting these for sale in my Etsy. I'll see how I go, depending on if anyone's interested. I'll do that. Let me know if you're interested. The pokey little puppy came apart really well, but the problem is I did have quite a trouble pulling the staple out, which destroyed this, so it looks not so good. So I think the pokey little puppy is going to have to be a fabric spine. So you're just going to have to be careful. And this is what I said with my Mulan book. I just wanted to experiment because I wanted to see what I wanted to troubleshoot. I wanted to see where the problems can be. And part of the problem, although taking the pages out was perfect, taking the staples out, I totally destroyed it. So Puss in Boots came out perfectly, and the staple area is not so bad. So all you need to do is just gel medium, smooth it down, and you have an intact golden spine, and the hug book as well. So have a look. That's the where the staple came out. Tiny little bit of a scratch there, but I can rectify that. So I'll show you. This is Grumpy Cat's, the staple area. You can see where the staple marks are, but it's, as perfect as you're gonna get, and knowing that there is an existing staple that you have to take out. All right, so let me show you how I do this, okay? Okay, I'm not going to do it on Mulan. I'm still procrastinating, so I won't do it on Mulan, but I've got some here, okay? So, Shy Little Kitten, so cute. The Shy Little Kitten is too cute. And the Friendly book, this is gorgeous. I seriously picked up some really good books. She was selling all 20 for $10, so 50 cents each. Okay, so the Friendly book, let's go with this one. I noticed here that it's so strange. Sometimes the pages protrude past the cover by like 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. So this looks like it's going to be one of them, which is why I ended up preparing the pages the way I'll show you. It's because I didn't want to cut any pages off, but they're too long. They are too long. All right, so the Friendly book, little golden book. Okay, it looks like that. It looks intact. Now, as you know, signatures, you may or may not know, signatures are 2. Okay, there are 2 signatures in here. I'm going to write this down. So pages 1 to 6 is 1 signature, and 7 to 12 is signature number 2. All right, 1 to 6 is signature 1, 7 to 12 is signature number 2. Now, what I'm going to get you to do is I want you to number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sometimes there's a special page, like a special of the next coming edition or the Christmas collection or whatever, but this one has 12. The reason why you need to do this is because the sheets are going to get removed. Like, I'm going to remove all 12 sheets. Some people leave them in doubles. I don't leave them in doubles, and I'll show you how I prepare. So go to the section that is between 6 and 7. So this is signature 1, and this is signature 2, okay? And what we're going to do is, okay, so this is what you do. And I always get this feeling of, oh my goodness, here we go. So we're not going to rip. We're going to gently pry, and you're going to feel a tug as the staples start giving, okay? So we're going to gently tug, and then so what I also do is here, tug a bit, and here, tug a bit, all right? So that just separates, it starts to separate the 2 signatures from one another. Then what I do is I put both signatures together, and I slowly start prying. Okay, so this little bit is not connected to this bit. So sometimes when you rip this, this will come out of here. So this will stay intact, but this will rip straight off. So that's what you don't want. So you kind of want to gently, and it's kind of like this little dance that you do. I mean, and sometimes it doesn't work, so don't worry. But usually what happens is that this part has to come off first. It has to come off first, because this is where the staples let go. So we are just prying the staples, all right, and then it will just happen. So go back to 6 and 7, and just gently start prying, and I can feel the staples letting go, because I'm getting more and more give now. More and more give, but you're not ripping. So we're just, and then you'll hear a tick. You heard that, right? That's the first staple, that's the second staple, all right? So there we go. The staple has let go. Your book is still intact. So at this stage, you are able to remove signature 1. 1. So try to do as little damage as possible. Okay, that's 1, 2. Perfect. No ripping of any pages. You can still see the holes. All right. Here, perfect. Just the holes. And now the best thing, pulling out the second signature. Okay, there you go. Brilliant. So now both signatures are out. You can see now where it's exposed. See how the staple is. Now just make sure that that staple is nice and straight. Nice and straight. So again, it'll be bent somewhat. Okay, here we go. So just grab it. Use the one closest to your spine, holding the spine, and just all you have to do is just push. Okay, so this should now come out very, very gently. So see how it's starting to poke out through that golden spine? Okay. One more time, just push. See how it's come out? Oh, can you see? Yeah, see how it's come out? So then, all you need to do, really careful here, just peel this, pull that out. Okay, go back in, push that. You should pretty much come out now. Now you're going to have sort of that little rip. See the rip? Yeah. Alright, so then what you do is just your gel medium and then you relax that back in place so it looks like no tear at all. Okay, so we'll repeat the same on the other side. So flip that. I like to work like here, not here. I like to work here. So once again, as you're holding, hold both this flimsy cardboard thin strip and this one. Don't just hold the one and let the other one flap about, being held by that really thin piece of golden paper. Hold both of them so that there's no tearing of your spine. One more time, just push that through. You'll feel that giving and you need to release to get more. There we go. So there's that big tear this time. So see that tear? I gotta be really careful. Just gently peel it back. Pull that out. Now you got to be really careful with this one. So see how that tore all the way to the edge. It's one clean thing, so I think that I'll be able to salvage that. That will not be a problem. Okay, so see that? That's a big tear. Okay, so I'll just do it with you now so I can show you how easy this is to repair. I'll pull out my art glitter glue. All right. Put a little bit here. Just make sure that, you know, the edges go on the edges. I love, and if you have a look, I don't know if you've ever really looked at the golden spines. They are so cute. Like, there's a little bee, there's a little bunny, there's an elephant, there's a rooster, elephant, the flowers. They're so cute. Like, the design on the gold foiling is gorgeous. So what I might do is once again go in with my art glitter glue here, plugging in the holes, making sure that the flower comes down nicely. And there you go, everybody. That is how you have got your intact golden spine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video now. It's over 20 minutes. I'm so sorry if this is really boring. So that's 20 minutes. I'm going to show you in the next video how we fix the spine, not fix the spine, but you know, how we strengthen the spine, and then we'll do pages, and then we'll do decoration, I suppose, if you want to keep going, or we can turn this one into a button one if you want. All right, so thanks for watching, everybody. Hang on tight, and I'll move straight into video number 2.